Farming is all about hard work, dedication, and a willingness to adapt to new challenges. It's a life that demands a deep connection to the land and a constant search for better ways to care for it. As farmers, we're always looking for ways to improve our farms and make them thrive, not just for today, but for generations to come. One of the best things we can do is diversify, growing a variety of crops and raising different animals. Instead of just having crops or just raising livestock, why not do both? This approach opens up new opportunities and makes the most of what your land can offer. This is the idea behind integrated farming, and it can make a world of difference for your farm's health and productivity. Think of it like this. Putting all your eggs in one basket is risky, especially when weather and markets can change so quickly. If something goes wrong with your one crop or your one type of animal, your whole farm suffers, and it can be hard to recover. But if you have a mix of plants and animals, you're spreading the risk and giving your farm more ways to succeed. If one area has a bad year, the other might do well, keeping your farm going strong and your family secure. Diversifying isn't just about managing risk, though. It's also about making your farm more efficient and sustainable. It's about creating a farm that works in harmony with nature, where every part supports the others. It's about using resources wisely, recycling nutrients, and making the most of every drop of water and every bit of land. By diversifying, you're building a farm that's resilient, productive, and ready to face whatever the future brings. Bringing crops and livestock together is like creating a perfect partnership on your farm. This approach blends the strengths of both systems, allowing them to support each other in ways that single-focus farms simply can't achieve. Suddenly, things that were once waste become valuable resources. Crop residues and animal manure, instead of being discarded, are put to work to improve your land and productivity. Manure from your animals transforms into natural fertilizer for your crops, enriching the soil and reducing the need for expensive chemical alternatives. This not only saves money, but also helps build long-term soil health. This natural cycle of give and take helps your farm become more sustainable. By rotating crops and livestock, you break pest and disease cycles and keep your land productive year after year. You're closing the loop, using resources efficiently and minimizing waste. Crop leftovers can feed your animals, and in turn, their manure feeds your crops. And guess what? Healthier soil means healthier plants, which translates into higher yields and better quality produce. Over time, your land becomes more fertile and resilient. But the benefits don't stop there. A diverse farm is often more resilient to market changes and weather extremes, giving you more stability and peace of mind. When you have livestock grazing among your fields, they act like natural weed control, munching on unwanted plants. This reduces your reliance on chemicals and keeps your fields cleaner. This saves you time and money on herbicides and labor. Plus, it's better for the environment and your community. Plus, the constant movement of animals helps aerate the soil, keeping it healthy and promoting good drainage. This natural tilling action improves soil structure and supports plant growth. It's a win-win situation for your crops and your animals. By combining both, you create a thriving, balanced farm ecosystem that benefits your land, your livelihood, and the environment. Now don't get me wrong, running an integrated farm isn't always easy. There are plenty of hurdles that farmers face every single day, and sometimes, things don't go as planned. The complexity of managing both crops and livestock together can be overwhelming, especially for those new to this approach. It takes careful planning and a good understanding of how crops and livestock interact. You have to constantly monitor both systems, making adjustments as conditions change, whether it's the weather, market prices, or animal health. You need to manage your land efficiently, making sure there's enough space for grazing without compromising your crop production. This often means rethinking traditional layouts and being flexible with your plans as the seasons shift. One of the biggest challenges is resource management. Balancing the needs of both plants and animals can be tricky, especially when resources like water, feed, and labor are limited. You need to provide adequate food and water for your animals while ensuring your crops have what they need to flourish. Sometimes this means making tough decisions about where to allocate resources during dry spells or when supplies run low. This means planning your grazing rotations carefully so that animals don't overgraze and damage pastures. Rotational grazing not only protects your land, but also helps maintain healthy animals and productive fields. Timing is everything on an integrated farm. Every task, from planting to moving livestock, needs to be scheduled just right to avoid conflicts and maximize productivity. You need to coordinate the life cycles of your crops and animals. This requires keeping detailed records and always thinking a few steps ahead to anticipate challenges. For example, you might plan for livestock to graze on a field after harvest, clearing up crop residues and naturally fertilizing the soil before the next planting season. This kind of synergy is what makes integrated farming so rewarding, but it takes a lot of foresight and effort. It's all about finding that perfect balance to benefit both sides of your farm. When you get it right, the results can be truly impressive, creating a sustainable system that supports both your crops and your animals for years to come. One of the best ways to manage grazing is through rotational grazing. This involves dividing your pastures into smaller sections and moving your animals between them regularly. This prevents overgrazing, allows pastures to recover, and makes the most efficient use of your land. Another crucial aspect is planning complementary cycles. This means aligning the needs of your crops and animals. For example, you could plant cover crops after harvest that not only protect the soil, but also provide nutritious grazing for your livestock during the off-season. Don't be afraid to start small and learn as you go. Begin with a small area of your farm and gradually integrate crops and livestock. Observe how they interact, make adjustments as needed, and, gradually expand your integrated system as you gain experience and confidence. In a world facing growing environmental challenges, integrated farming offers a path towards a more sustainable and resilient future for agriculture. By working with nature, rather than against it, we can create farms that are not only more productive, but also better for the environment. Integrating crops and livestock might seem like more work at first, but the rewards are well worth the effort. You'll be building a farm that is healthier, more productive, and more in tune with the natural world. And that's something to be proud of.